What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Cyclops, but we're going to be doing a different review than what I normally would do for these characters. Usually, I would give some kind of set rotation, play them a little bit in World Boss to see how strong they are. But the truth is, guys, Cyclops, especially due to all the tier 4s coming into the game, just doesn't really shine. In fact, most tier 3s, and most Awakened characters don't shine, because of the power creep of all these tier 4 characters. There's just going to be other characters that are going to be more viable than Cyclops that are Blast or even Blast mutants, right? We have, Storm, who's a Blast mutant. You also have Jean Grey, who has a uniform that is a Blast mutant that goes to tier 4, goes to level 80. They're just going to be stronger than this character no matter what. And when it comes to just Blast, you also have Iron Man, who's just a tier 4. You also have Blue Dragon. There's just so much competition in these fields, and that's really what happens to a character like this is everything that he has really just kind of becomes amplified, right? The fact that his leadership was buffed up to 45% is nice. The fact that his passive went up to 40%. But remember, this is a superhero uniform. And I think whenever you look at this character, you need to really look at his utility. Where are you going to use him? Do you actually even need this uniform? He has energy projection and command, and those are two things to remember. And he's a Blast mutant male. Well, if you go into World Boss, guys, and you go against Null, right, you're going to need, let's just go to a little bit higher echelons of World Boss, go into level 30, right? Well, I mean, you're going to be using Iron Man for this easily. Iron Man, Blue Dragon, whatever Blast characters. Even characters that aren't even level 80 can absolutely do this, right? And his support really, it might make a difference on some accounts, but not really a lot, right? And then you get into the agility, right? We want energy projection and command. Here's mutant, but we're only at stage 52, right? And when it comes to mutant, guys, even if you don't have his uniform, you're still going to be able to use Jean Grey. You're still going to be able to use Namor, right? These characters can absolutely plow through this even without tier 4, right? Even at level 80. Granted, Namor is a paywall. That is something to keep in mind, but Jean Grey is not. I know she's a heavy investment, but all you need to do is just take her to level 80, guys. Even without level 80, she might be able to do this. And you grow up the ladder a little bit more, and then you scroll up to, 67, 69. I mean, this is durability. He doesn't have those tags, right? We're getting way up here. You don't even need him for Null for the most part, guys, right? You don't even need him for Null, which kind of sucks. And then you go against Mephisto here, right? And, we scroll down here. He doesn't have a leadership tag, so we can go up to, let's just say, stage 45, right? Again, the same issue that we had before with the blasts that are available against Null. It's going to be the same issue, right? You're going to have characters, Iron Man, that can absolutely plow through this thing. They're going to be way easier. Blue Dragon, they're going to be just way easier than Cyclops. You don't need his new uniform to give him those buffs. You absolutely don't, especially if you already have a character like Riri already leveled up. But I mean, a lot of people already have Cyclops or even Ebony, right? I mean, so he's kind of in this position where, because of the power creep in the game, it's really hurt him a tremendous amount. Don't get me wrong. I think that there's some niche situations where he might be useful for some players. And I thought essentially in the beginning of this update that he would be more relevant. But the truth is, guys, if you look at all these requirements, you're not going to really use him all that much, right? I mean, I'm always at stage 85, right? And here's command. He does have command. You can use him here, right? But you're only going to get that 35% attack unless you're going to be using Storm, right? Other than that, you would just use Captain America, right? And Captain America is only going to get that 45% attack leadership, which would help. It isn't necessary in all reality. I mean, you could have Storm and then Star-Lord and then Cyclops on a team if you choose to do so. Maybe that would be okay. But I mean, this is way up there. And unless you're, this high a level against Mephisto, you're trying to push this high, I don't know if I'd really worry about getting this uniform. And, and if it's going to be a long time before you're going to be able to get this high, then I don't think really isn't even need to have it, right? And then you go against these other guys where a lot of players aren't even facing, right? I mean, Ultron, he does have you do need energy projection, right? Let me see. Energy projection is, I think, 30. Yeah, here's energy projection, which Cyclops does have, right? But there again, guys, Iron Man doesn't need it. Even before it's tier 4, I could absolutely do this. Black Bolt won't need it. Stage 35, if you have a decent amount of Pierce, won't need it. They won't need that extra bit of attack. Yeah, it'll help, right? But is it worth spending your crystals on? It's entirely up to you guys whether or not you should, right? And then a lot of people just aren't. I mean, they're not going to be facing Gore, and they're going to be fighting Gene. So, and then if you go to ABL, right, and ABX, if you go to ABL and ABX, right, maybe it's a different story. Okay, so let's see. We go to Blast, supervillain. You know, we're not going to use them there because that's a superhero uniform, right? So we'll scroll up a little bit more. Blast male. I mean, for ABX, you know, this he might be useful to use Cyclops here, right? He's going to have a little more text. So if you're trying to push your scores in ABX for Blast Day, then maybe he would be a good pickup for you. I think in that case, I think that he would be worth picking up if you are trying to push ABL, right? Get a little bit extra attack, which definitely would be nice. But then you have Blast, you know, superhero mutant, and you could absolutely use him here to get a little bit more. So, you know, for ABL and ABX, I do think the uniform could be a beneficial thing to have for you. But for World Boss Legend, not really so much. Here you need a female, so you can't even be used here. So that's kind of where Cyclops stands, guys. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of utility, especially due to the tier 4 characters. I mean, I've said this in multiple videos. The tier 4 characters have really lower the value of our tier 3 and awakened characters. They really have. They're so strong. Do you really need an extra, you know, 10 or 20% attack whenever you can go to that level 72, level 80? Right? And I can tell you, like on my account, no, not really. Like I said, guys, for ABL and ABX, it's a different story. Having that uniform would help. It would help you buff up. And I got a feeling that I'd be saying the same thing about Beast here. I don't have them awakened, so I don't really want to do a review about them. But I can tell you, Cyclops damage, guys, just compared to other Blast characters, especially since we have so many that are, you know, able to go up to tier 4, have level 80s, he just isn't going to be really, you just really won't need this uniform if you already have, you know, a couple of those characters. Even at just level 72, they're going to outperform Cyclops. And I feel like this is just going to be a common trend that we're going to keep seeing. You know, we're just going to keep seeing these tier 4 characters. And the more speed, the more universal, the more blast, more combat, tier 4s that we have, the more it's going to make our other characters less relevant. Even though a lot of characters might offer extra support, you might not need them even for World Boss Legend. Maybe you'll need them for ABX, ABL. I do think there's an argument for that. But for regular World Boss Legend, I don't think there really would be an argument. Well, there might be a little argument for some accounts, right? It really depends on how much energy or physical attack you do have on your accounts. But in Cyclops' case, guys, getting an extra 10% energy attack from his passive, getting an extra 10% attack on his leadership, which is a total of 20% attack, is really good. It does make a difference. It will help. It will make your life a little bit easier if you are trying to push those stages. But look at where you're actually going to use them or where you need them before you actually buy this uniform, so you can actually make an accurate assessment of whether or not you actually need it. So guys, I know this is a short little video, but there really isn't a whole lot to say regarding these characters that are just going to be, you know, solid supports for the most part. But if you guys want to see him fully built, you want to, I already have Uruz on, you want to see me put some, you know, ISO 8 I set on, you want me to put a different CTP on this guy, I'll be more than happy to do that if you guys do want to see that. So guys, let me know what you think about Cyclops. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. due to 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.